Maliketh is Queen Marika's shadowbound beast, created to serve and restrain her should she ever defy the Golden Order. His sacred duty was to guard destined death itself after Marika removed it from the Elden Ring, granting the demigods immortality and reshaping the laws of the world. Before this age, death flowed freely. The Black Blade once belonged to the gloom-eyed queen whose black flame could slay gods. Maliketh defeated her, and with her fall, death was sealed away. From that moment on, Maliketh became the sole enforcer of mortality, feared by every demigod, not for his strength alone, but because he carried something, the one power none of them could escape. Ranni the Witch stole a fragment of the Rune of Death and forged the Black Knives, which were used to murder Godwyn the Golden. In shame and terror of further failure, Maliketh bound the remaining Rune of Death into his very own flesh. He became Garrock, the Beast Clergyman, an immortal warden, driven by guilt, endlessly devouring Deathroot in a futile attempt to undo a crime he believes is his alone. It is wildly speculated that Maliketh is blind, his eyes never visible, his face bound in worn rags and rope, as though sight itself is something he has long abandoned or lost. The beast eye he gives the Tarnished may not be a token at all, but his own, relinquished, so that he might sense the spread of death he failed to contain. This would explain why Maliketh perceives Deathroot not by sight, but by instinct, by pain. He does not see the world he protects. He feels it decay. As for what Maliketh truly is, the answers reach far beyond the Golden Order. Unlike Blythe, whose form clearly marks him as half-wolf, Maliketh more closely resembles the ancient beast clergyman of Fair Missoula, hybrids of a man and beast, gifted with 5 fingers and higher intellect. The King Quetta he carries, an artifact reserved for higher-ranking clergy of Fair Missoula, confirms his antiquity. Long before Marika's reign, Maliketh was already feared, so dangerous that his former name meant death of the demigods. Is it possible, then, that Maliketh was not born Marika's shadow, but reshaped into it, a being of an older order, bound into service, his nature repurposed to enforce a law he did not create? Even his blindness becomes symbolic, a guardian made to uphold the vision he was never allowed to see. He continued to enforce the Golden Order, believing his obedience might one day mend what was broken. When the Tarnished arrive, guided by Grace, Maliketh feels vindicated. Grace is Marika's authority made manifest, proof that she has not abandoned him. But when Grace leads the Tarnished towards destined death, the truth is revealed. The being he existed to protect has chosen a future that cannot coexist with him. Maliketh is not divided, he is replaced. Even after consuming every trace of Deathroot, he finally understands that atonement cannot restore the Golden Order. His hunger was never for death itself, but for absolution that was never possible. At the edge of a jagged cliff outside the bestial sanctum, Maliketh raises his head and lets out a mournful howl towards the distant Erdtree, calling to Marika. The sound carries the weight of failure and the desolate ache of a guardian whose faithfulness has only been met with abandonment. The bitter sorrow of a guardian whose loyalty has become his prison. He falls not as an enemy, but as a being who realizes in his final moment that his life's purpose was never shared with him, only given to him as a weight, cultivated to serve a will that abandoned him in secret, leaving him to shoulder a duty that would destroy him from within, until the truth of betrayal consumed every fragment of meaning he had ever known.